Hello and welcome to the Facing Your Fears program and how we can turn fear into courage. Today we're going to talk about chapter 3 in the Facing Your Fears book, which is called Our Character Traits. And it's a very interesting chapter when you look at the questions, and it asks you to evaluate and to recognize who you are in work, at home with your family or your partner or both, and who you are as a friend. And the interesting part about this is that I have other chapters about masks that we wear and how we can pretend to be someone we're not. But this journey is to find out who we really are and where we want to make changes for ourselves so that we can be the best version of ourselves. If you look at this is now 2024 and it's a new year. I think it might be a year with continued challenges, but we can also stay the best version of ourselves. So when I look at the first one of what are you like at work, think about that. Whether you're a stay-at-home mother and you have to kind of keep the rules going and keep your kids alive and have them do homework and all of that, that's kind of like a CEO of a company. Or if you work outside the home, or if you're retired now, but maybe volunteer. And when I look at myself, I see that as a therapist, I probably am more serious at work than any other place in my life, but I feel like it's necessary because what I'm dealing with people is probably, and it is more serious than when I'm out with friends or my kids or in a relationship. But beyond that, I think the core of who I am is I believe, loving, kind, compassionate, aware. And if I look at anything I'd want to change, because that's part of the question is, what would you want to change? I think it may be that maybe that I would want to be a little bit more lighthearted. And at times I am with people who can be lighthearted or whose problems don't seem basically life or death or the death of a relationship. Then if you look at the one that says, how are you in a relationship? So whether you're married now in a partnership, were married before, look at the characteristics of partnership that you brought into the marriage or the relationship. Because a lot of times, I'm generalizing here, but we as women can be critical. Not that men are not. When we look at ourselves in a relationship, I don't mean to generalize, but often women can be critical because we have this home improvement part of us that we just want the home to be better. We want our partners to be better. We want ourselves to be better. We want our kids to be better. We're kind of the impetus of improving things. And I remember when I trained with John Gray, who did Men Are From Mars, he was talking about that's just kind of a characteristics, whether it's in our society or all societies, that we can be the ones that try to navigate change or more positivity. But I would want to be careful about being critical in a relationship because if we're being critical of another person, most likely we're being critical of ourselves. So if we bring it back, what is it about myself that I want to improve or change? And sometimes it is the relationship that's difficult. Sometimes the match creates more of a strain, does not help you to feel like you can fly and accomplish and do all you want to do. Sometimes it's just your own programming that creates that. We are so programmed from our childhood to believe that either we're not good enough or we're too much or we'll never be what somebody wants because we may have had critical parents or unavailable parents or abusive parents. We don't want to bring that into a relationship. There's so much coming on about dependent bonding, anxious bonding, avoidant bonding. We need to look at what our role is in trying to bond with another person, whether it's our children where we might be anxious, we want them to be okay. It's our job to keep them alive and healthy and going strong. But that kind of anxiety passes on to them. So look at yourself as a partner in a relationship. What could you change that might be better? Could you be more supportive? Could you be more lighthearted? Would you want to be more fun? Would you want to be more spontaneous? Would you want to create adventure? Or do you like stability where you want to create routine and things that make you feel connected to kind of a pattern or stability? And then as a friend, it's very interesting when you look at your friendships. I think we are mostly ourselves when we're in a friendship with somebody we trust and we've loved and cared about for a long time. In a friendship, we kind of laugh about our differences. We can make fun about our differences. We can go for adventures. We go find things that we like to do together. Usually we don't hide a part of ourselves. So I think it would be interesting to take that personality and the characteristics you have in a friendship and think of, how do I incorporate that into work, into my partnership, into raising children or being around children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, whoever you would like to influence that are young people. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I've done is taken a picture that of me when I was like 2 years old that I have, and I look at that little girl and I go, wow, she came on this planet to have fun, to be adventuresome, to laugh, to play, and to love and care about people. And I want to keep that part of myself alive in all aspects of my life. So if you get a chance to look at that chapter, our personality traits and characteristics, try to look at yourself. And this is not to be critical, but it's to say, where do I want to make improvements? Where do I want to learn and grow? And how can I be the best version of myself? And that's individual to each one of us. You have your own pathway, you have your own loves and desires. And it's just great if you embrace that and let yourself be all of what you want to be. So thank you for joining us, and enjoy 2024.